welcome to Top of the Morning. We have a great show lined up for you today. I'm Lil Ree.
And I'm Just Kumar.
And today our guest is Mark Longerbeam, who's going to be showing us to tango your way.
Tango your way.
So stay tuned, we'll be right back.
USS Constellation. There's a grand lady in Baltimore who has taken her rightful place as the Inner Harbor's crown jewel in the heart of the Chesapeake Bay. Launched in 1854 as the last all-sail ship designed and built for the United States Navy, Constellation's century of service embraced the ages of sail, steam, gas, diesel, and nuclear power. Imagine that, launched in 1854 and still afloat. Even more exciting, visitors can come aboard Constellation and explore to their heart's content. On board Constellation, history comes alive as visitors touch, feel, and experience what life was like for sailors during the Civil War. Just bring your imagination.
All right, welcome back to the Top of the Morning. We're here with Mark Longerbeam. We're going to be talking about the tango. Is that right?
That's right.
All right.
All right, and you have a show tomorrow, is that right? Tango Your Way?
I think we're going to be doing some dancing tomorrow, yes.
So tell us a little bit about what's going to happen tomorrow.
Well, I think we're going to be dancing and showing a few of the different forms of tango.
Different forms, isn't there just one dance?
No, there are many types of tango and three particular flavors of it. There's regular tango, and then there's valse, and then a form called milonga that's quite energetic.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so can you tell us a little bit about the three different flavors? Usually I get that question. What flavor of religion are you?
Well, the tango itself, one of the three flavors, has many different varieties to it. It can be very slow, it can be very dramatic, it can be fast and choppy, and we all dance around in a circle, a number of couples, as a social dance. The other form is a waltz, or a valse, as they call it, and it is a three-quarter beat, just like a waltz would be, only it's fast, like a Viennese valse, and you do tango to that. And the third form is milonga, and that's basically has African roots to it, and it's very stylized. So those are the three different forms.
All right, Mark, tell me a little about your organization and about what you guys do with tango.
Well, I would say the organization of tango in Baltimore, as it is in many different cities in the world, is very loose. So we're a very loosely organized group of people who simply like to dance. But there are a number of places to dance in Baltimore, and those are at a certain website that you can find. There's a local calendar of events and things like that. If I may, there's for many people a misconception about tango. Most people see it as that ballroom rose in the teeth type thing, but in fact, in its essence, it is a social dance. It grew out of the social scene as it was in the turn of the past century in Buenos Aires, and it's done socially. You go to a dance called a milonga, different usage of that same word. And you get together with people you know and see, and also some strangers may be there, and that adds to the passion of the thing. So it really is a social activity. You need not have a partner, and there are many places where you can go and do this in Baltimore.
Sure, it sounds like fun.
Definitely.
It is.
So how did you get involved in tango?
Interesting. Someone who was doing tango. There was no tango in Baltimore about 5 years ago, and someone who had been doing it in another city came and did a one-of event at the Patterson Park at the Creative Alliance when it was very new, and I just saw it, and I said, that's just something I really want to do. It has very much passion, it's very close, and so I decided to do it. At that time, you had to go to D.C. to take lessons and whatnot. Now you can do it in Baltimore.
Sure.
Now, what do you say to somebody like me that has two left feet? Like I would be stepping on my partner's feet the whole time.
Yeah, so the tango in its very, very essence is a walk. It starts with a walk and ends with a walk, and everything
I can walk.
else. Exactly, and so I would say that if you can walk, you can do the tango. It takes a little more time for some folks, and for guys it's a little tougher because you have to kind of think about what you'd like to express in yourself. But basically, if you can walk, you can begin to do it.
You know what? I think. Okay, so we're going to take a quick break, but don't touch that remote. We'll be right back.
Well, Seaman Sprouse. Hi, top of the morning.
USS Constellation. There's a grand lady in Baltimore who has taken her rightful place as the Inner Harbor's crown jewel in the heart of the Chesapeake Bay. The ship you see here, the sloop of war Constellation, was built at the Gosport Navy Yard in Portsmouth, Virginia, and launched in 1854. A newspaper account from the day of her launch reported that there were 8 pieces of the original frigate Constellation contained within her timbers. But it's the sloop of war Constellation that's here in Baltimore today, and the Chesapeake Bay has always been central to her story.
Hi kids, and I'm Captain Baltimore, and I'm upon the USS Constellation. And here we have our friend
Abel Seaman Sprouse.
Abel Seaman Sprouse, and she's going to tell us a little more about the U.S. Constellation.
She was launched into the water in 1854. Our tours have been going great aboard here. We have several tours, especially for kids under 18. We have a powder monkey tour. It's a walking tour of the entire ship. You can put your kids to work, teach them about bracing the yards, turning the capstan, talking about what they food be eating. They can try out the hammocks. It's an entire walking tour of the ship.
Thank you. This reminds me very much of my ship. I'd like to welcome you all to come and see it. I'm on the USS Constellation. I want you to come on down and have fun, all boys and girls upon the ship.
I'm nuts about downtown Baltimore's West Side. Hello, I'm John Waters, and I'm proud to say that Baltimore has always been my home. It's the inspiration behind all my films, including Hairspray, Crybaby, Serial Mom, and A Dirty Shame. Let me tell you, there are not a more eccentric, monumental, eclectic, intriguing, and character-filled 28 blocks anywhere in the world, and I'm here to prove it to you. This is where Babe Ruth was born. They tell me he's the best baseball player ever. Not that I'd know. I'm more into theater. Like nearby Arena Players, the nation's longest continuously running African-American community theater. I'm also a big fan of century-old Antique Row, where New York dealers come to buy and later mark up their purchases sky high for their Manhattan buyers. On that same block sits the U.B. Blake National Jazz Institute. Infectious, fashionable, full of vim and Baltimore vigor, I walk the West Side streets these days in amazement at what it's become. I'm nuts about downtown Baltimore's West Side. You will be, too.
It doesn't look like it's really structured.
No. In fact, the whole idea of tango is to express yourself and make it up. I like to say that if you can lead your partner to go where you'd like, then you can do anything in tango. So anything is legal, and you just simply develop your own style and make it up.
So that means backflips and throwing me in the air and stuff like that?
You've got to get your partner to go there, and if you can get them to go in that direction, it's legal.
Tell you, I've been at parties before, and all of a sudden the tango comes on, and I'm the last person to want to get up there. You said you have 2 left feet. Well, I've got 2 right feet.
Well,
But,
you two should get together.
But anyways, so this is pretty neat. You don't really need to have that formalized structure to it. You can just get up there, learn some basic tango, and go and start having fun doing tango.
Yes, that's quite right. Basically, what you need to do is learn how to walk together as a partner, and it's just that simple to begin. But then, for both the follower and the leader, it's a frustration to be able to do more things because you want to express yourself. But basically, if you know how to walk with somebody, you can take someone who's never done it before, get them with the right music, and you start to tango. It's a very, very social thing and can be done quite easily in its basics.
Wow, it sounds pretty interesting.
Yes, definitely. So Mark, what's next for you? Are we going to see you on Dancing on the Stars?
Well, it's interesting. I am opening a new milonga, which is the name of the dance here in Baltimore. It will be a weekly event. There are, as I say, other places where we do it. At Fells Point, we take over the square between 9 and 1 on the first Friday of every summer month, and we just go out, and that's a free event. People are welcome to come down and take a look. So all these things are listed on our website, www.baltimoretango.com. So you can get that information.
BaltimoreTango.com.
So how many people in the Baltimore area do tango?
It depends on the event. If we have an event from in Baltimore that's a once in a while thing, we'll get enough people up from D.C. and Baltimore to have about 150 folks at our events. There are about 40 or 50 folks currently in Baltimore doing it, and there'll be a lot more soon, I think.
And then what are the demographics of the people that come?
Every nation, every color. It's everybody can do it. Everybody does do it. It has a very international flavor. When it started in Buenos Aires at the turn of the century, it got brought to Paris, and then from Paris, it became a worldwide thing between the 20s and the 50s, and it has been a worldwide phenomenon since then. You can go to any major city in the world in tango.
Wow, that looks pretty cool. You know, something that I want to go ahead and start learning how to do. Start learning how to do the tango.
Well, everyone's welcome, and we'll be happy to include you into the fold.
Sounds good.
Okay, so we're going to take a quick break, but don't touch that remote. We'll be right back.
All right, welcome back to the top of the morning. So there's an event that's taking place soon in Canton, is that correct?
Yes, it will be the opening for a new milonga or dance that we do, and it will be down in Canton, and the details will be up soon for that, but we hope to have international recording artists to open up for us, and we'll have a dance there, and people should come just to listen to the music and get a feel for what it's like, and it should be a great night. That will probably be on Friday the 19th.
Sounds like quite an event.
Yeah, definitely. Now, do you have any contests, like with judges and prizes and things like that?
No, interestingly enough, it has just recently come up that tango has had competitions, but because it's so individual, because there's no syllabus really for tango, it's an individual thing where you make it up, so it's like judging apples and oranges. It exists, but it really doesn't exist as much in tango as it does in other dances.
Is there any type of specific tango music, like it's all Spanish or?
Yeah, so, yes, no. In fact, it's Argentine, from Argentina,
Okay.
and most of the music we listen to is from the 1940s, 1950s, and 1960s in Argentina. But certainly there's new music coming out from Argentina and other parts of the world, and we listen to that too. And we also dance to alternative music. Anything that gets played, you can pretty much dance tango to.
Rave music?
Well, that might be a little difficult, but I'll bet I could do it.
That, like from the 40s and 50s, that reminds me of the Boogaloo. Do you do any of that?
No. The music, tango music is very distinctive. It is very highly orchestrated. It is complex, and so is a dancer's music because there's so much in it that you can use to be creative in your dance about. So that's why we listen to that stuff. It's because it's very great music.
Is it a certain beat, like 1-2, or?
So the tango music, as it comes from Argentina, is very highly orchestrated. The people that immigrated there in the turn of the century came from all parts of the world. They came together and their musical tastes kind of converged and came to make it what it is. That music also went back to Europe, and the dance was made into something different, the ballroom style of thing that you sometimes see, and the music also changed for over there. So there's Argentine music, and then there's music from other parts of the world.
So it's just kind of evolved.
It has. We like this stuff from Argentina.
Okay. Okay, how can people get in touch with you if they want a tango?
Okay, so there is a website for general info about tango in Baltimore. It's www.baltimoretango.com. If people are interested in beginner lessons and getting on a mailing list for that, they can email to tango@theotherkiss.com. One word, theotherkiss.com.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All right.
Well, we've enjoyed having you today. We've had a lot of fun.
Well, thank you very much. It's been nice to be here.
And this has been another show of Top of the Morning.
And don't forget, we're here at the top of the World Trade Center. You know, they have a lot of great things over here. They got some crabs. We're at the Krabby State. And, oops, we dropped something over here. But we got a lot of great stuff that you can pick up at the gift store. We got t-shirts and hats and a lot of great stuff just right around the corner.
I love Mr. Krabby. See that? And I love the baseball cap too. This is one of my favorites. See, I could do a pull of Britney Spears here. So make sure you visit the gift shop. And we'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time.
Okay, and that's a wrap.
USS Constellation. There's a grand lady in Baltimore who has taken her rightful place as the Inner Harbor's crown jewel in the heart of the Chesapeake Bay. Imagine that, launched in 1854 and still afloat. Even more exciting, visitors can come aboard Constellation and explore to their heart's content. On board Constellation, history comes alive as visitors touch, feel, and experience what life was like for sailors during the Civil War. Just bring your imagination. Constellation is the second of 3 U.S. Navy vessels to carry the same venerable name. The first, the frigate Constellation, was built right here in Baltimore at Harris Creek and launched in 1797. Known as the Yankee Racehorse, the frigate Constellation was one of the first 6 ships built by the United States Navy. The ship you see here, the sloop of war Constellation, was built at the Gosport Navy Yard in Portsmouth, Virginia, and launched in 1854. A newspaper account from the day of her launch reported that there were 8 pieces of the original frigate Constellation contained within her timbers. The third Constellation was the aircraft carrier CV-64. Launched in 1960, she served until 2003. President Ronald Reagan called her America's flagship. But it's the sloop of war Constellation that's here in Baltimore today, and the Chesapeake Bay has always been central to her story.
Throughout her century of service, Constellation served in and out of the Chesapeake Bay. It was kind of like coming home every time she returned to the Chesapeake Bay. She was created here at Gosport Navy Yard. And throughout her career, she came to Annapolis. She spent many years there. She sailed to Philadelphia. She sailed up and down the bay several times. And every time that she returned, it was like a homecoming for her.
Wow, that was fun. I learned some tango today. That was a good show.
All right. We'll see you
later.
next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
We fire the cannon, turn the capstan, and ring the bell daily. And we recommend the free self-guided audio tour, which comes in 2 flavors, one perfect for children, the other for adults. Plus, there's the ever-popular Powder Monkey Tour for kids and hands-on adult tours like A Ship as a Machine and Black Sailors in Navy Blue. Groups can also come aboard and sling their hammocks in our overnight program or host special events. Our crew knows the USS Constellation is an amazing experience, but don't just take our word for it. Here's what recent visitors had to say.
It's very kid-friendly, very family-oriented, and the kids will love it, and they'll come out asking questions, which I love.
It transports you back. You can almost get the feel that you were actually there, because laying in that hammock, like, oh my goodness.
I think it's really interesting because it shows you exactly how they slept and how they ate and how they went through life.
But it was excellent tour, and I think it's something they need to maintain for generations to come.
Should be kind of a must for people who are in the area and have an hour or 2 to spend.
It's just amazing to see what people lived in, how hard they worked in order to accomplish what they did.
It brings your learning alive, and that it helps you to understand. Like, rather than looking at pictures, you can actually see what they were in, and you can actually understand it.
I think it makes me appreciate being an American, knowing these people went through these things to put me where I am now.
I'd say come see it.
Yeah, we were a little bit leery because of the age of our children, 4 and 7, but they enjoyed it so much. It really kind of surprised us. We thought it'd be more for us, the parents, but no, they loved it.
They had a good time.
Yeah, they had a great time.
So come aboard USS Constellation. And while you're here in Baltimore, be sure to visit these other attractions of the Chesapeake Bay Gateways Network. The Baltimore Visitor Center, a good place to start your tour of this historic city and region. The National Aquarium on Pier 3 near the USS Constellation Museum. The Lightship Chesapeake, and 7 Foot Knoll Lighthouse, both part of the Baltimore Maritime Museum. the Frederick Douglass Isaac Myers Maritime Park and Museum, headquarters of the Living Classrooms Foundation, Fells Point, an early American shipbuilding center, and the Fells Point Maritime Museum. And of course, Fort McHenry National Monument, where the people of Baltimore valiantly defended the city from the British during the War of 1812, and Baltimore's own Francis Scott Key wrote our national anthem, the Star-Spangled Banner. So welcome aboard USS Constellation and enjoy your visit to the historic sites of the Chesapeake Bay Gateways Network.